Here we go. It all started once upon a time where, I'm just kidding. It all started with Abby telling me about Ari hitting her up to do her and Queen's hair. Abby was super duper excited because, one, in my opinion, I think it's just because Queen, and then she started getting more so popping around the time she's going out to do like this big thing. It was like Clarence, you know, when a smaller content creator is hit up by somebody that's bigger than them, of course they're going to flip shit. Of course they're going to want to be honored in order to be in front of that person's presence. So I was like, whenever she came and told me that, I was like, congratulations. But in my personal feelings, toward Queen and Chris and how she actually is as a person, and what, from my understanding, how people explain it to me, I was like, you might want to be careful. But me being a friend, I supported her and I was happy for her. But the thing is like, I was like, you better be careful, because anything can pop off. Not saying that something will, but something can happen. And the thing is about Queen is that I realized who they were whenever her and Chris got around like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and shit like that. And I was like, oh, they're another fucking couple that does fake ass shit. Oh god. So what do my supporters do? They asked me, can you talk about Chris and Queen? So guess what I did? I talked about them. The whole Fraud Squad at that, whenever they all started to meet and come together, it was like a fucking reality TV show. So I've been talking about Queen for the longest time. Actually, maybe before me and Abby even became friends. And the thing is, y'all, is that a lot of people are like, well, how are you going to bring up Queen's past and shit like that? It's not just the past, it's about what she's still doing in the future. And the thing is like, a lot of people think that this woman is freaking innocent and that she's done nothing wrong in her whole life. The thing is like, don't be ignorant to the fact that these things did happen, and that there is proof out there that she has scammed people, and that there is proof out there of the way that she has worded some things as well. I'm not saying we cannot forgive her, but do not forget the things that she has done and how it can affect relationships in the future. That's what I'm saying. So after Abby and shit told me that, I was like, well, be careful, you know, I'm super excited for you. Is she paying you? Is she doing that? Abby said that she doesn't know what's gonna happen and everything like that. She doesn't know if Queen's gonna pay her, or if they're gonna do a couple of collabs, if they're gonna vlog and shit like that. So I was like, huh, dope, keep me posted about what happens. So when Abby and her friend were going to meet up with Queen and shit like that, they were live streaming, everything like that. I was watching from a distance. I didn't really text Abby because I didn't want to invade. If she had something that she wanted to say to me, then she would say it to me. So I was watching their live streams, and it seemed as though they were all just chilling at the hotel. I don't know what hotel they were at. I don't know where they were exactly. But in my point, in a lot of people's point of views, it seemed as though like people were happy for Abby, but then Abby started flashing people all over. Abby started flashing Queen all over her live and stuff like that, and people were saying like, oh, it seemed like Abby was just trying to show off that she was hanging out with Queen and Clarence and shit like that. And I was like, you know what? I mean, like, if y'all would understand if y'all were actually content creators and actually understand where Abby is coming from, then y'all would be fucking excited to see Queen too. A lot of Queen supporters, they would act worse than Abby is. A lot of these people that dick ride Queen would act a lot worse than Abby would in person. And people were saying like, oh, it looks like you were, that Abby was bothering Queen, that she was bothering Clarence and shit like that. And Abby only got together with Queen in order to do her hair. So why is Abby flashing them around on live stream and shit like that? Well, come to find out, Queen said that she doesn't really care. It doesn't matter. Queen actually joined Abby on the live stream and was entertaining whatever was going on. Abby live streamed her doing Queen's hair and shit like that. So everything was cool, right? Abby would call me and tell me how much fun that she's having and shit like that. She would call me and text me and like she wanted to tell me about some things that was not drama related. It was actually some good things. But then everything went to shit whenever it was time to wrap up. And the thing is like, I was watching Queen's live streams and vlogs and shit like that, and I was like, huh, I was like, I mean, like a day or two has passed by, like, where's the collaboration? I mean, like, I see Queen uploading the vlogs, but like, where is Abby in these vlogs? But then Abby then came to tell me that they filmed before she even got there. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's why. But I'm looking forward to the collaborations. But one day, Abby called me to vent to me about the pay or collab situation that everybody's been talking about. She told me her side of the story. Now, like I say in all of my videos, there is two sides to every story. Abby told me her side of the story, saying that she did her hair, they never collaborated, and that Queen never paid her. And I was like, what? Why? And then she was like, well, but one day Abby called me to talk about the pay or collaborate situation that everybody's talking about now due to things being leaked, I guess, or people talking about it. But I was like, what's going on? She said that the initial agreement that Queen had with Abby was that Abby said she did not want payment. She said that she would go back and forth and get the weave. She said that she'd put it in Queen's hair, and that the only thing that Abby wanted was a collaboration. Queen said, are you sure? Abby said, yeah. Queen said, bet. And I was like, okay, so what's wrong? She then told me that, well, now they're about to leave and shit, and they never collaborated. And I was just like, well, are you going to get your money, or is it going to be like, no, what's going on? And she said that she's been trying to hit up Queen, and Queen won't text her back. And I was like, see, that right there. That is the scamming shit that I'm talking about. How you gonna do her hair, and then she not pay you or do the initial agreement? So I went off. And I was like, see, this is why I told you not to fuck with this scammer. This is why I told you this. This is why I told you that. And Abby was just like, well, I didn't know, and honestly, like, I like Queen and everything like that, and I wasn't expecting her to do something like this. And I was like, well, have you not seen Choice's videos? Have you not seen my videos? Have you not seen everybody else's videos on the internet? And even there was a whole petition to get Chris and Queen off the internet because they scammed people out of $350 for iPhones. And she just acted totally oblivious to it. So I was like, oh, well, now you kind of know, so now you need to get your money. So the next day goes by. Abby still hasn't gotten her money, and apparently Queen is still ignoring her. And then another day goes by. The Queen is still ignoring her. And then Abby eventually goes and says that I am going to go talk to Tina and see what's going on and everything like that. Maybe she can reach out to Queen, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay. You know, Abby, like, this is one of those situations where it's like, this has been dragged on for so long now, and it seems like you're not going to get your money, and you're not going to get the payment that's received. And I wanted to speak on this because I saw a lot of comments saying that people hated Queen's weave, people hated whatever Abby put into Queen's hair and shit like that. And the thing is like, in grown adult world and how it should be and how it actually kind of is that if you don't like a service that somebody has provided to you, you need to tell them, I do not like this, and then discuss it as adults. Ignore, as Abby said, ignoring people, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I'm just gonna take your shit and run away and then leave like this big blank empty spot and feeling as in like, well, we need to talk about this, like, what's going on, like, you know, like, that's between Queen and Abby, like, and that shit. But like, in grown adult world, you would get beat up for something like that, like, especially if you just said fuck this and like I'm out and then never talk about it. Like, a lot of y'all kids don't understand what's going on. That's why a lot of y'all are just brainwashed into believing everything that fucking Queen has said, instead of actually sitting down and being a rational fucking human being and thinking. But as children, I don't expect you to do that, especially if you're immature as shit. But like, if you didn't like it, maybe Queen liked it. Y'all didn't have to like it. Y'all don't know how Queen felt about the sewing. You need to hear Queen say this. Like, and it's still Abby and Queen's situation. You see that? So more time has passed and Abby still has not gotten payment, and then that's why she's starting to get frustrated, and she's telling me, well, I'm thinking about doing a story time. So I said, okay, if you do a story time, then I'm going to upload whatever the fuck I'm gonna go based off of that, because what do I do on my channel? My supporters are going to basically tell me, oh hey, your friend Abby got scammed by Queen, can you make a video about it? Of course I'm gonna make a video about it. So Abby never made a fucking video about it. And I'm like, well, Abby, when are you going to make a video? She then proceeds to tell me, like, she's still thinking about it because, like, she does not want to ruin her friendship with Tina and everything like that. Because, in all honesty, Abby is a sweet girl. She likes to have her name out of shit. She likes to have her name out of drama, whether y'all believe it or not. It seems as though she gets sucked into drama all the time. And that's one reason why I'm highly upset, because I do feel like all of this is my fault. But the thing is like, she was never going to get on, she was never going to get on any video or any live dragging Queen, dragging her to filth and shit like that. A lot of things that people took out of context in my live is that they thought I was gassing this up to make it seem like Abby was about to lay down some real fucking shit and just expose the fuck out of Queen. That's not the fucking case. That is really not the case. So, I don't know what happened on Abby's end, whether she hit up Tina about the Queen thing. I don't even know about that. I really don't. So now we're going to get on the topic of my live stream. So 2 or 3 days ago, I uploaded a live stream going to talk about a specific YouTube couple that my supporters wanted me to watch. It's about this prank. It's called the male Viagra prank. And my supporters are saying, like, look how vulgar it is. Why is this not age restricted? Because they had a lot of things showing that kids shouldn't even watch. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. So I reacted to it with my friend Dijon. And the thing is like, I was so upset because the whole time Dijon and I were looking at this video, we were like, well, where's the tea? And like, this was going to be my upload for today. And now I have nothing to fucking upload because I don't even think this is upload worthy. So I got on my live stream and I titled it, I need to vent, or whatever, or something like that. I need to rant, vent, whatever. So I got on there and I ranted about that for a good minute, and like my subscribers said that they saw it and everything like that, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna talk about how I feel about it right here. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. But this is how I feel about it. I'm not making a whole reaction video off of this. So while I'm on live, every time I get on live, or this is really for like almost any like drama channel or commentary channel, they were talking about, oh, how do you feel about the Joel and Lauren? How do you feel about Perfect Laughs? How do you feel about the Ace family? And you know, I gave my 2 cents, and then they said, how do you feel about Queen and Clarence? And I was like, well, y'all know how I feel about Queen, and like honestly, I feel like Clarence is using Queen for clout, because that's honestly what everybody thought at one point. Still, a lot of people still do think that, but the thing is, like, they built this whole like fan base around preteens and kids to help support them and shit like that. So a lot of people are just like, oh, we're not even gonna get into that, because real adults understand what the fuck is really going on. That's the thing. So I talked about that, and then they said, what's the tea with Queen and Abby? And I was like, I cannot talk about anything that is not out to the general public. And they said, well, does the tea involve Abby? And I said, it does not involve Abby. And like I said, I cannot release information out that is not out to the general public, because a lot of people will sit here and say like, oh, Tylan is messy. Oh, Tylan has a whole drama channel. Of course, if you were to spill out information to Tylan, he will leak it to everybody. The thing is, y'all, is that people come to me every day and talk about their personal feelings to me, some tea on YouTubers and everything like that. And I do not. I sit there and I talk people through their situations and talk people and help coach them through, and I do not go out and blast them on the fucking internet. I don't. The only thing I'll talk about is if these YouTubers upload videos, and then I talk about it. I'm a fucking commentary channel. I do not expose people on my channel. Things, people talking about like expose, like Tylan exposes people, it's already out on the internet. So how can I expose somebody for things that is already out to the internet and people have already talked about? I'm just putting my 2 cents into that. So I never told Tylan because he's going to be messy. It's false. Because on that live stream, it's more to it. Yes, I'm actually going to tell the truth. Like, some of it was about Queen not paying Abby, but that's not even the full gallon of tea that I was even going to talk about. There is people in Queen and Clarence's little team that can't keep their fucking mouths shut and like to spread rumors per se to people, and one of those people just happened to be me.